Welcome to our kitchen. Today we prepare medieval fried leek rings from Anonimo Toscano's Libro della Cucina, written in the 14th century. We start with ingredients. We need leeks, flour, and olive oil. We cut the leeks into slices 1 finger thick, then remove the internal part, obtaining rings formed by 2 or 3 layers of leaves, depending on the thickness. Anonimo Toscano's Libro della Cucina presents several recipes for vegetables, with fat versions with meat, lean versions with fish or only vegetables, and versions for the Saturdays, which include all the days before a festivity, with eggs and cheese. The richness of vegetable ingredients that is still typical of the cuisine of Central Italy is one of the most distinctive and attractive features of this medieval Tuscan cookbook, in addition to the fact that most of the recipes are quick and very easy to prepare. In the text we find 6 recipes specifically for leeks, for all the times of the year, in addition to another for a lean blancmange, made with shredded leeks as a substitute for more typical ingredients, such as fish and chicken. The recipes for leeks, except the one we are preparing today, are seasoned with spices, usually saffron and pepper, which are the most common used in medieval cuisine. The original recipe recommends cutting the leeks into 4 parts, parboiling them in water, and then deep frying them in olive oil. We preferred to cut them into rings to reduce the cooking time and adapt this dish to the season. But if you prefer, you can follow the original instructions. We prepared a batter with flour, 2 pinches of salt, and water. This recipe is very simple. There are no eggs or other similar ingredients added to the batter, and the cooking fat is olive oil. On a fat day, the author would have probably used lard or cured pork fatback to give the leeks more flavor. Anonimo Toscano's batter is unleavened, but if you like, you can add a little sourdough to the flour and water mixture. In medieval sources, we can find other examples of batters that we can use to adapt the recipe to our taste, as Anonimo Toscano often suggests in his book. Anonimo Veneziano, for example, adds saffron to his batter for lean apple fritters, which would also go well with the leeks. Maestro Martino, instead, suggests a batter for apples, bay laurel leaves and sage leaves, made with eggs, sugar, cinnamon and saffron, with the recommendation of omitting the eggs on the lean days and using olive oil instead of lard. We dip the leek rings in the batter and deep fry them in olive oil. With this type of batter, you must remove the rings before they turn golden brown, because they would start to taste a bit burnt. The batter will still be well cooked and crispy. Our translation of Anonimo Toscano's Libro della Cucina, with an introduction, notes and a glossary, is available on Amazon. To know more about medieval cooking, you can also read our books, The Observazione Ciborum, Early Medieval Recipes at the Court of the Franks, and Registrum Cuquine, a medieval cookbook. If you are curious about the use of vegetables in historical cuisine, read Early Italian Recipes, Vegetables, Herbs, Fruit and Flowers. If you're interested in ancient food, check out Ancient Roman Cooking. To support our work, you can also buy us a beer and purchase our merchandise. You find all the links in the description below. These fried leek rings were delicious, sweet and savory, perfect as a snack or as a side dish with fish or meat. We paired them with fish cakes. but they would also be perfect on their own, dressed with a sauce. We recommend a green sauce, such as one described by Johannes Bockenheim in the Registrum Coquine, made with parsley, sage, rue, saffron and wine. Or the one that we find in the Tractatus de modo preparandi et condiendi omnia cibari et potus, with ginger, cinnamon, pepper, nutmeg, cloves, parsley, sage, and vinegar or verjuice. You find the links to the recipes in the description below, and the translation of the Tractatus on Patreon. If you're interested in ancient foods and flavors, subscribe our channel and consider supporting us on Patreon.